Hey guys, so if you haven't heard about the Anchor app, you guys are definitely missing out. It's one of the easiest ways for you to make your podcast. I use it to make this podcast here. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. So you don't even have to go ahead and distribute it yourself. You can let Anchor do all the work for you. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Munir's Heat Check. I'm your host, Hakeem, and today I'm going to talk about the Miami Heat in the playoffs being swept by the Milwaukee Bucks. Don't really know what to say. Not what I expected, not what I was expecting to see from the Miami Heat, who seemed like they were ready for the Bucks, seemed like they wanted the Bucks in this matchup, and I don't know what happened, why it happened, how it happened, but the Heat did not show up. They showed up game one, and that was it. They gave all of their effort in game one, lost with a game-winning shot by Chris Middleton, which was a great shot. Great defense was played by Robinson in that moment, but better offense from Chris Middleton. After that, guys did not want to play. We seemed outmatched, definitely outsized, of course, like we always are, but we did not show up at all. Game 2, 3, and 4 were never in hand for us. Even though we at the half led in game 4, it still felt like we were going to give it away at the end. So let's just start with where I think the biggest issue was, and that was with our two stars, Jimmy and Bam. First, let me start with Bam. Bam, he was not aggressive. He seemed like he did not want to shoot. Brook Lopez, literally, every time Bam got the ball, backed up into the paint and dared him to take a jump shot. And Bam would not look at the basket. Let me repeat that again. He wouldn't even look at the basket. This is a guy who has improved his mid-range jumper this season, and he wouldn't even look to take a mid-range open jump shot just to create some fear in them. Bam starts knocking down that jump shot. Lopez is going to step up. Bam can go right by him to the basket. He's going to get fouled, or he's going to get 2 points. That simple. That simple. Instead, Bam got the ball and looked to give it to anybody else who wanted it. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Iguodala, Ariza, might have even given it to the bench at some point in time. That is not okay for someone who's supposed to be the future of the franchise. Bam did his best on defense, I'll give him that, but we're undersized. He can't do much he can't play all 5 positions. I'll say that. He can't play all 5 positions, but on offense, Bam was non-existent completely. That has to change. Something has to happen this offseason to give Bam some type of motor to get him going offensively, maybe earlier touches in the game, something, but I will say Bam was non-existent this entire playoffs on offense. And then that brings me over to Jimmy. Jimmy is the heart of this franchise right now. He kept us going throughout the entire regular season. He's probably the reason we even made it to the 6th seed. But when the playoffs started, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he's tired, if after game 1 or game 2 he just looked at the Bucks and said, we don't got this. I don't have enough. We don't have enough to get this done. I don't know what happened when it came with Jimmy, but Jimmy disappeared. Shot awful. Shot a lot more threes than usual, and I know that might have just been what the defense was giving him. So he tried to take it. And a lot of the time we were playing catch up. What's the fastest way to catch up? Shooting threes, but it's not Jimmy's strength. And when you have 2 stars like Jimmy and Bam who don't shoot threes, and the other players around you aren't making their threes, what do? I didn't see Duncan Robinson knocking down threes after game 1. Dragic, Kendrick Nunn, who's still one of my favorite players on the Heat, Tyler Hero, Ariza had a nice little stretch, but then he went cold again. It was, I don't know. We just did not show up to play against Milwaukee. And Jimmy, as our star player, has a huge role in that. He's supposed to be the engine to keep the team going, and he looked like his motor was going. He looked fed up, tired of putting the team on his back. Rightfully so. He should be tired of putting the team on his back. He was looking for help and he didn't get it. So I think he, at that point, gave up. And that's what ended up happening. Now, as far as the rest of the team, listen. Duncan is Duncan. He's going to shoot. He's going to have on nights. He's going to have off nights. And he had a lot of off nights in these 4 games. Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, still young. Kendrick Nunn tried. He had a couple good plays against Giannis. He tried to take Giannis one-on-one a few times. You know, you can tell he tried to get something going, but he's not there yet. Tyler Hero, I don't know what happened with him. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't try to get rid of him this offseason, but that'll be for another episode. Dwayne Dedmon showed up, led us in scoring 1 game. Dedmon did what he was supposed to do. Come in, give us energy, but he can't put the team on his back. Neither can Dragic, neither can Ariza. So the blame falls on the 2 stars of the team, Jimmy and Bam. And they did not get it done this playoffs. And that's why we got swept by the Milwaukee Bucks, the team we beat last year and embarrassed. They came back this year, and we have to give them credit. I have to give them credit, as much as I hate to. They came back this year and swept us off the floor. It was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for the Heat. I don't even play for them, but I know that feeling had to feel horrible. A team you knocked out last year in the bubble came back this year and smacked you around on their home court and on your home court. So where do we go from here? Who knows? That'll certainly be for a different episode to talk about where the Heat will go, what happens with Oladipo, who will we trading for, who are we trying to get. That'll certainly be for a different episode. This episode, I just wanted to talk about the reasons why I think we lost, and that was my main reasons. The 2 stars. They didn't show up the way that the other team's stars showed up. We looked small, we looked outmatched, and I do think that Bam is a power forward. He plays big, he has a lot of energy, but he's not a center. So, Milwaukee, good win. I'll give them their credit because they did come back as a stronger team. They came back better. They improved. They got Drew. They got Portis. They got Forbes. They got players that contributed to what they did. The Heat, we got Oladipo. He didn't contribute at all to the season. He did not contribute at all. So we just got outplayed. We got outmatched, and there's nothing else we can say. We got to come back better next year. Do better next year. Hopefully with a improved roster. And give it another go. I had the Heat in 6. Ended up being Bucks in 4. That's all I can say. But it's official. We were swept. So I'll have to eat that. And that's all I have for today. Please, guys, please follow me on all of my social medias at Mind of Munir. Check out this episode on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else that you listen to your podcast. And the video will be up on YouTube. Please, thank you guys so much for listening. Have a nice Memorial Day weekend. And take care. Bye.